Hi, I'm Steve King.
And I'm Johnnie Putman.
And for over a quarter of a century at Chicago's WGN Radio, we had the privilege of witnessing some extraordinary live performances in our studio.
And introducing our audience to some really great new performers. And that's why we're here today at Jim Peterick's World Stage Studio.
If I recall correctly, it was in the late 90s. We went back to our office and we had this voicemail from this girl that we'd never heard of before.
Right, but she really sold herself, because I remember standing in the office and she said, I have some music I'd like to share with you. I know you guys play music on the radio. Can I? And we said, yeah, and we had our producer call Lisa McClowry.
When did you first decide that music was calling you, that this was what you wanted to do?
Well, if you talk to my mother, it was age 2, where I would go up to the radio or anything musical to start dancing and singing.
Back as a child, when my thoughts would run wild, I had a place where I'd keep my emotions.
For me, it probably started at 7 because that's when I started to play piano. On Sundays, we'd go over to my grandmother's house after church. She had the piano, and I would just sit at the piano and start playing things. And I'd just sit there I could sometimes sit there for hours.
Ooh, baby, come inside.
So what was the first time you sang and you realized, whoa, people are kind of enjoying this?
Well, I did musical theater, and I was My Fair Lady. I was Eliza Doolittle, and we did many plays, and that's really where I discovered I loved creating and performing and singing.
When did this go from you love doing it to, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do?
15. I know exactly. I was 15, and I was in a rock band called Mischief.
Love the hair. Yeah, that's...
So this was your passion. You knew it in your heart of hearts. Nothing. You never said, well, I'll go to school and be a teacher just in case.
No way.
You know?
I knew. Everything was towards the dream.
Reptar, he's no ordinary monster. He's a lizard with a heart of gold.
And you were working with some great people like Mark Mothersbaugh.
Mark Mothersbaugh of Devo, Whip It Good. Da -na 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 -na. Yeah, that was exciting.
But with Mark, you had a great break because he used you on some of his soundtracks for movies.
I was the singing voice of the princess for the Rugrats in Paris, the movie, which was put out by Universal. And Through the Eyes of a Child, I co-wrote that with Mark Mothersbaugh and Levant Kopic for the movie The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle.
See the world for a while through the eyes of a child.
And that also came out in the early 2000s. So I had some nice breaks back then.
In your day.
The past several years have really been extraordinary for you. You've segued into smooth jazz, and what made you want to do that? Well, was it working with Jim? Was it just kind of a natural evolution?
Well, we've tried many different things. We like to do all kinds of music.
Come dancing.
And I remember the night we had just played one of Jim Peterick's songs, Come Dancing. You were driving home from one of your performances, and you called us up.
I remember.
And you were just you were so excited.
Gosh, I get goosebumps just thinking about the first time you did that song in studio. I mean, you looked at me and I was crying, so.
You want that. You want people sobbing and crying, or you want them angry or whatever. You want them to respond.
Wanting to rush the stage, right?
Everyone's guess, it's love, it's a beautiful mess.
We hope you enjoyed this profile of Lisa McClowry. And we hope you get your hands on Lisa's new CD, Lisa McClowry Sings Acoustic Alchemy. It's available wherever you buy your music these days and at lisamcclowry.com.
And since we have one in our hands, we're going to go pop it in our CD player.
Ooh, in this world, it's a fight, climbing from the wreckage of last night. Mixed up, never black and white, dancing on the in-betweens. I know that life ain't perfect. Things are never what they seem. It's all how you work it to make God smile. Tell him your dream. It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Once you bought it, you can't take it back.
is a beautiful mess.